looking to self-educate yourself and you have no idea about anything when it comes to finances or investing, then yeah, diversify, because you don't have any competitive advantage. But if you're willing to put in some time and learn the concepts, then put your money in the thing that So I've spent the last 12 years in real estate learning every single day. I still learn. And so it would be really crazy for me to diversify into stocks and diversify into areas that I don't know, just to, because I have this huge competitive advantage in the area that I've researched and in this strategy that I understand. So, but that it does bring up a great point. Like, what if the rug's ripped out from under you, and all of a sudden city council comes in and changes the law and you can't do short-term rentals? That's why I'm such a huge proponent of having a great backup plan. Every time I think through a real estate deal, I think through, okay, what's the absolute worst case situation with this property? So like the triplex that we just bought, if all of a sudden city council tomorrow changed the law and we couldn't do short-term rentals, well, it's probably going to go to 30 days minimum. So there's a big midterm rental market in this area. A lot of people coming in for work or nurses and stuff like that. If I can't do that, then I would probably rent it on a long-term basis, furnished, because I've already got the furnishings in there. So I could bump up my monthly rate because it's furnished, and rent it on a long-term basis, and the property still cash flows really well. So I'd lose cash flow for sure. All the properties would cash flow less, but there's no scenario where I'm not still making pretty decent cash flow. If long-term rentals no longer work, we got a bigger issue on our hands. But that's sort of the backup plan. And so I think eventually diversifying, like we're buying in Florida now, as sort of like our second part of the plan. But I think just doing that too soon, it can be a big distraction for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and like I said, reinventing the wheel. Every new place you purchase a property, you got to develop those relationships. You got to hire and manage the handyman and the housekeeper, contractors. If you're, so it's compounding the work. Yeah, I can tell from your educational background is in finance. I'm sure you're a really intelligent investor, and about the diversification part is if you're not going to learn your market or that chosen field of investing, it's good to diversify, because you don't need that level of education. It's averaging out, what was it? I forget how it was put, but it was basically you're mitigating risk by increasing mediocrity, essentially.
Yeah.
So, you're not going to get that level of return from the efficiencies. You're not going to from the economy of scale, and just simply knowing in that market what a good deal is and how to really maximize that income potential. And you build up 21. You said there's multiple, so these are 21 doors or 21 rental units, some of them in the same property, and that freed up your time, your efforts, because before you are doing this grind with the flipping and other investment methods. So what did you start doing with this newfound freedom, this autonomy?
Yeah. So that was the whole impetus behind starting this program. So I've been running my podcast, Living Off Rentals, for, it's been, we're coming at, well, you're actually the 200th episode that's going to be released here in about a month. So we've been doing it for a little while now. And a lot of people were reaching out who listened to that podcast saying, this is great information, but can you provide something that's more step-by-step to kind of take us through the living off rentals process? Like, how do we get actually to a point where we're living off the rentals? And so that's when I created this program after I left my full-time job 2.5 years ago. and had the capacity. All of a sudden, I think people really underestimate the things that they can do once they leave their full-time job. A lot of people have this goal of like, I got to get to $20,000 a month until I'll feel really secure to leave my full-time job. And what I tell people, and that was kind of our thought too, like we waited too long. We could have left our jobs sooner. And what I tell people is that's the starting point. Like, don't wait until you've built up 3 times as much as you need to leave your full-time job.